You move through the world carrying the weight of a hyper-independent achiever or a relentless people pleaser. It's an exhausting life, yet feels entirely normal. Many assume these traits are baked into their DNA, that being the one who manages everyone else's comfort is just part of their innate personality. These behaviors are actually scars. They are the visible remnants of a family dynamic that required you to adapt in order to stay safe. Understanding why you feel this way requires looking back at the original system where these defenses were built. We have to look at the roles you were forced to play before you even knew you had a choice. Recognizing these historical patterns is the first step toward proving you are capable of living without constant isolation and exhaustion. A family functions as a closed ecosystem. When that system becomes unstable, children often take on specific roles to absorb the emotional chaos of the adults around them. This is achieved through triangulation. Instead of dealing with a sibling directly, parents pull you into side conversations to complain. In this moment, the child is forced to handle adult-sized emotions, navigating an invisible crossfire to keep the peace. As an adult, this makes direct conflict feel terrifying. When issues arise, you find yourself wondering if you're being dramatic, feeling as though you're up against an entire invisible team rather than just one person. This dynamic often leaves behind a specific reflex, the urge to apologize for things you didn't even do just to clear the tension in the room. This happens when parents use subtle gaslighting to avoid their own accountability. If you tried to explain how their behavior hurt you, they simply told you that you were being too sensitive. When an adult rewrites your story over and over, you eventually stop believing your own memory. You learn to trust their version of reality more than your own gut. The lack of self-trust you feel today is a survival reflex. You were trained to abandon your own perspective to keep the adults around you stable. Then there is the adult who bends and softens at every turn, tiptoeing around the needs of others to ensure no one is ever disappointed. This is the result of conditional love. It doesn't always look like yelling. It looks like a heavy sigh, or a quiet reminder of everything a parent has sacrificed for you. This turns affection into currency. Kindness is no longer a gift. It is a debt you must repay. Because this debt is unpayable, saying no feels selfish. You lean into people-pleasing to avoid the unbearable tension of someone else's disappointment. This environment creates the therapist child, someone who believes their only value lies in their ability to fix the people around them. In your adult relationships, this might look like white knight syndrome. You subconsciously gravitate toward partners or friends who are falling apart because you need them to be broken for you to feel relevant. In some cases, you might even stir up conflict behind the scenes, just so you can be the one to step in and provide comfort when things collapse. This kind of endless support comes with strings. It is driven by the fear that if you stop being the savior, you will lose your place in the relationship entirely. Perhaps the most draining experience of all is the persistent, underlying terror of being abandoned. This fear is rooted in an unpredictable childhood. When the adults in the house lack emotional regulation, the child lives on a surface that is constantly fracturing under invisible pressure. Without a stable foundation, you never developed the emotional buffer that helps others stay balanced during stress. Now, as an adult, you live in a state of constant emotional emergency. A single unanswered text can feel like a total rejection, triggering a spiral of despair or rage within seconds. This environment often leads to identity mirroring. You shift your personality to match whoever you are with because you aren't sure who you are when you're alone. Mirroring is a form of camouflage. It is the only way a nervous system that never felt safe learns how to blend into its surroundings. When you look at these patterns clearly, the source of your exhaustion becomes obvious. These traits are highly effective survival strategies. They are the armor you built to stay safe in an environment that didn't provide a foundation of care. The difficulty is that you are no longer in that environment. The suit of armor that once protected you is now a weight that prevents you from moving forward. Seeing these subconscious reflexes for what they are allows you to spot them in real time. You can begin to notice when you are slipping into a childhood role out of habit rather than necessity. You have the right to retire the role you were assigned. You are allowed to stand on your own without needing to rescue anyone or manage their disappointment. Moving past trauma involves clearing away these historical defenses. Once the past is out of the way, you can finally see what your life looks like when you are the one writing the script.